As we say every single Monday morning, tis a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. This is your Monday morning support group where we sit back, relax, and prepare ourselves. Prepare ourselves for a new week with the assistance, especially on a 26-degree day, with the assistance of some hot brew. Oh, the first one's so good. So good, so good. And of course, we talk about the news here on the show. It was like 2 major topics, and then it turned into like 15 major topics. A lot of stuff happened last week. But on the bright side, we have kicked off a new 28 days of blurred excellence. But this year it's 29. I'm still hashtagging it 28 with a bonus episode on this Black History Month. So excited for that. Excited to keep pushing all the highlighted blurs on our Instagram. So make sure you check that out. If you got a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. And it is so good to have you all here with us today. You guys are bombing in the chat, man. I love it. I got to go all the way back to the top. EC in the house. Good to see ya. Chavez. Good to see ya, Chris. Geek Strong in the house. Good to see ya. You know, I actually tried. I attempted. I was like, I'm going to try my best to go to the gym this morning. And didn't happen. What do we got here? What is this? There's always a thing. Anyway, I attempted to go to the gym this morning. Did not work out. But, you know, I had to prepare the show. So here we are doing this. And, yeah, we'll proceed. I feel like I just got like some real shitty news coming down the pipe. I feel like that just happened. I feel like that's the email I just got. But it's fine. We proceed. Yukon Phil in the house. Good to see ya. That's right. Hit that like button. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see ya. Figure Fever in the house. Good to see ya. General Kenobi. Good to see ya. Consult a Blind Guy. Love it. Wait, there it is. I'm going to finish the story. It doesn't matter if you want to finish the story, Jabron. Jabroni. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Real quick. A balmy 20. Is it 26 in Austin as well? That's crazy. It said you're multitasking, working, watching, listening. Appreciate you. Did I say hi to Consult the Blind Guy? Did I can't remember if I missed it. But hello to you. Patrick in the house. I love it, man. Everybody dropping links in there. Baby steps, Archer. Attempting is a step. Yes. Legacy of Nerd in the house. Good to see you. So I know that all too well. Back in the day, I actually went on 2 different kind of like weight loss journeys. Little story time for you guys. And I ended up 2 different times losing just around 100 pounds. Did it twice. And I understand the like focus it takes, the push that it takes, all of it. But man, the last like 2 years, I'm like, I really want to like focus on like other things instead of just that. But who knows? 2024, new year, new me. Maybe we bring that back. Archer Ecto D has been found. Oh yeah. I want to address this as well because I know a lot of you have been supporting over the last couple of weeks, and I really appreciate all of you. Have we hit 100 hours yet? Now, I've said this a couple different times, and I'll just keep reminding everybody, and it sucks that I have to keep reminding everybody of this, especially because of how far we got this weekend. So this weekend, we had 5 hours left of watch hours needed to get monetized. Just five. But alas, in the game of YouTube, it's going to take a little while longer. So what has happened is you're battling yourself when you're trying to get the watch hours to get monetized. You have to hit 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days. The downside to that is if you had like a really hot like day a year ago, and then all of a sudden we advance a day, and now that hot day was 366 days ago, those hours get subtracted from where you're at. So sadly, we were 5 hours away. Now we're back to 11 hours away. But hey, right now there's 9 of you in the chat. At one point I saw there was 11. So like I said, we're 11 hours away. If you guys just leave the stream going, maybe we hit it. Fingers crossed. Got another bot that ended up here from Twitch, so always good to see you there. But yeah, he found the D. I found the D as well. And Aaron Waller in the house, good to see you. Flips table and runs to computer. There you go. Appreciate you. Yeah. Close, man. It sucked. What was it, Saturday night? I posted where we had the 5 hours left. And I was like, tomorrow's the day. And I woke up and I was 11 away. And I was like, fuck. Every time. But that's also why I really took all day yesterday. And put out a new video. So let me go over to this screen. So might as well get the plugs out the way. Of course, Nerd Affiliated on YouTube. That's where you're probably watching this stream. But if you're listening to the podcast, if you're watching on Twitch, on Kick, make sure you head over to YouTube. Drop a subscribe over there. Hit the thumbs up. And check out some videos. Anthony's full on toy hunting at this point. We've lost Anthony. Not lost him. I mean, he's just he's got the juice now. Anthony's all in. Look at that. 2 toy hunts in a row. I gotta hit the button for that. 2 toy hunts in a row for Anthony. Insane. But yesterday I went and I rushed out a new review. What is up, nerds? I picked up the latest out of nowhere Hasbro release. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I made sure, I got him myself a thumbs up. Oh, I'm not signed in. Can't do it. It's fine. But I made that video because I was like, all right, maybe if I get this video out, there's not too many videos out there. This can give me that last minute push to get us into monetization. Didn't happen, but it's still a good review, in my opinion. I worked for 12 hours on it. That's probably the longest time I've ever spent on a review ever. But yeah. Flex in the house. Good to see you. How you doing? How you feeling? I don't remember if I said hi to Figure Fever, so I'll say hi again. I think I did, but I'll say hi again anyway. Consult says, I've been doing Ghost Viewer. The stream runs in the background while I get stuff done. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hopefully boost hours enough to get going again. It's a battle, man. It is a battle. An absolute battle. Consult says, I may have to find the wand myself. Yeah. Ghostbusters Road, man. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. So, yeah. Let's get into the news. Let's get the show on the road. And want to give a big ups, of course, to a living legend. One of the best to ever do it. Carl Weathers passed away this weekend. I think it was Friday, maybe. And man, that was a punch to the gut. Real punch to the gut. And there's been a few times. Over the last couple of years where a celebrity passes and you kind of like you get left speechless. In the last couple of years, JDF passing was wild. Kevin Conroy, of course, Chadwick Boseman, that was one. But every so often you lose somebody that you're like, damn, I never had a chance to meet them, and just be like, hey, you influenced me. You were a role model for me, like any of that stuff. And Carl Weathers is one that I was like, oh, I'll get a chance. Didn't happen. Similar to, when I talk about representation in wrestling, I always point to like a Savio Vega, for example. Carl Weathers was that guy in action. No pun intended. Action Jackson. An amazing 80s action movie. If you've not seen Action Jackson, you need to do that. But seeing him alongside a Sylvester Stallone, not like running sidekick position, but like alongside Sylvester Stallone in Rocky, him being on screen with Schwarzenegger, not the first one to die in the movie. Him just being out there, it was like, oh, we can roll in the same sandpit as everybody else. Like there is a lane for us. And that's what he did for a lot of us kids in the 80s. If you were alive if you were born in the 70s, you saw it in the 80s. But for me, born in the 80s, I witnessed it in the 90s. That was him. That was Carl Weathers. So he will be missed, an icon for sure. And I think I said it when we lost Jason David Frank. I'll say it again. If there is that celebrity, if there is that person at a Comic-Con and you're like, oh man, they've really meant a lot to me, just go for it. I'm not telling you to buy every single celebrity autograph or photo op or any of that stuff. I'm not saying to do that. But you would know that one person that if you saw them at a con, you're like, wow, like I watch their movie every month, or I listen to their song every time I'm down. You get those feelings. So if you run across that person, you want to see them all you can. Everybody in the chat saying, RIP, one of the good ones. Yeah. MegaCon this weekend acknowledged, I think he was there in 23. Yeah. It's crazy. He passed while MegaCon was going on. And yeah, he's definitely been there before. He was doing a lot of cons. I don't think any con I was at outside of like New York potentially was he there, but he really started making rounds. And I saw that, was it Nilda is her name? She she was talking to Juan Carlo Esposito, and that's when the news broke. And that's just crazy. Just crazy. Yeah, movie first, if I'm not mistaken. Which one? Which one? Oh, and what's up, Creativity from the Future? Good to see you. All right. Rolling on. So the Royal Rumble was a couple, 2 weeks ago? Or was that a week ago? Wow, that was a week ago. Tell you, time really flies. So the Royal Rumble was last week, and CM Punk. Oh, for not killing him first. That's true. Yeah. CM Punk made his return to the squared circle, and it was okay. It was okay. The Rumble this year, to me, very underwhelming. But I feel like it's been like that the last couple of years. But he made his return, and everybody was wondering, all right, is it going to be him or Cody Rhodes that walks out of here? I was, of course, pulling for Dirty Dom. Didn't happen. But was going to be him or Cody Rhodes. Turns out he gets launched over the ropes by Cody Rhodes. Cody wins the Rumble and decides he's going after Roman for the title, the Universal title, or the Universe title, whatever they're calling it now. So then it's assumed that Punk would probably go down a path of going against Seth Rollins. But alas, that did not happen. CM Punk out of WWE WrestleMania 40 after confirming injury suffered at Royal Rumble. So he confirmed that this week on Raw. There was rumors going around that very night that he was injured, but it ended up going out on Monday Night Raw that, in fact, he was injured in the match. Scrolling down. The injury ends the hype of Punk's WWE comeback, which many thought was out of the realm of possibility when he left the company nearly a decade ago. Fans were blown away by his return at Survivor Series in November, and it appeared big things were on the horizon for him. This is Bleacher Report, by the way. Punk had immediately put himself in position to feud with WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, even though Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble match for the second year in a row. There was an expectation that Punk would challenge Rollins for his title in one of the main events of WrestleMania 40, which is going to be on April 6th and 7th. So that ended up falling through completely. In the middle of his promo, you had, the hell's his name? What's that dude's name that like nobody really cares about? Sorry if I ever meet you. Big like Scottish guy or whatever. Shows up, attacks CM Punk, and that's, who you assume he'll go against further down the road. But it sucks. I won't lie. It sucks for the Punk fans out there. It sucks for him as an athlete. McIntyre, thank you. It sucks for him, as a person. Here it is. I've heard rumors he's a shitty person. I think we all have. But, maybe this was his redemption arc. And then he comes in there and knocked out in the first in the first round. So, sucks for him. We'll see what happens with Punk. But like I mentioned before, the question was, what's going to happen with Rollins? Because Cody picked out his enemy, his rival, his objective, and that was Roman Reigns. Then my favorite person shows up, The Rock.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
You guys know how I feel about The Rock. You know this. You know this. The Rock confronts Roman Reigns in WWE return after calling out the champ. Amid speculation regarding a potential match against his cousin, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, The Rock appeared Friday at SmackDown and appeared to lay the groundwork for his showdown at WrestleMania. So Rock will take on Roman, Cody will take on Seth. Now, I will believe it when I see it. That's where I'm at now. And the reason I like talking about wrestling here is I'm the casual wrestling fan. Standard procedure where I tell you I was a fan during the Attitude Era. I was a fan during the Monday Night Wars, all that stuff, right? Just like when I meet a UFC fan and they're like, oh yeah, I've been here since UFC 1. I'm like, really? Well, who was on UFC 2? But I'm the casual wrestling fan. I watch the big events, the big four, and I go about my day. Now, I've seen The Rock jump into that ring, 5 times, 6 times in the last 6-7 years. And everybody's like, oh, this is it. The Rock is back. This is it. The Rock is back. And nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Now, this time is different to an extent. He has made it onto the board of TKO, the parent company to the WWE and the UFC. So I already debate conflict of interest here, because if you're on the board and you're like, hey guys, I know what's best, let me go do this, there may be self-interest involved there, not necessarily interest of the greater story, interest of the greater company. That's my concern. That's my concern on that side of the fence. On the other side of the fence, I'm like, every 5 seconds you keep coming back. You come back, get in the ring, and nothing happens from there. Nothing happens from there. Is it going to get more eyes on WrestleMania if he shows up? If he's on if he's in the marquee spot? Of course it will. Of course it will. But is it going to keep eyes there beyond WrestleMania night? No. Absolutely not. No random person that's watching ESPN on Friday is going to be like, oh, The Rock is on WrestleMania on Sunday. I'm going to watch that and enjoy it, and then watch it on Monday night instead of watching football. And then watch, was it Friday Night SmackDown now? Instead of college football. That's not going to be a thing. So it's cool that The Rock and Roman will fight for the quote unquote head of the table position. But Roman also wants out. Roman's kind of done. So to me, it's a lose-lose. You might as well have, as a casual perspective, you might as well have Cody Rhodes knock Roman out. He somehow overcomes Solo jumping in for the millionth time. He takes out Roman. And then he's like, I did it. He drops the line, I'm the head of the table. And then The Rock comes out and he's like, what are you talking about, head of the table? You can't be head of the table. And then it goes from there, right? That to me that works for a longer period of time, maybe. And then The Rock takes the position of being corporate bad guy Rock. But who am I? If he makes it to WrestleMania, great. I'm not holding my breath. I am not holding my breath. Millennium Workshop in the house. Good to see you. Phil says over 200,000 dislikes for that video. The Rock swears everybody loves it. He's sharing reactions on Instagram. They've been talking about this for 3 years. I say, let's just get it over with. This is all about money. 1,000%. 1,000%. I remember when did he jump in the ring with Ronda? Was that WrestleMania? They jump in the ring. That was before Ronda started wrestling. I feel like maybe Stephanie, Triple H were in the ring. Potentially. Like since then, he's been teasing his comeback. And the only one to successfully do a comeback the right way, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know why? You know why?
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
That's why. That's why. So if The Rock makes it there, if The Rock does it, fantastic. Otherwise, I'm not holding my breath. I am not holding my breath. What? All right, going into toy news. My favorite. Haslab Conversations. Yay. You guys know I love the business side of things. I love the numbers. I love the sales tactics. I love all of it. All of it. And when Transformers was announced as the latest Haslab last week, I did a live stream. Because I was like, I got to see what this is. Where will the Transformers team go from here? And I didn't get it. I did not get it. I saw the drop. 3 figures, one price, $250. I was reading the comments with all of you on the stream. Thank you guys that showed up to the stream. And I didn't get it. A lot of you didn't get it. But I said it then. I feel like it's going to back. I feel like Transformers usually hits. It's probably going to back. Now, since then, it's been, I believe, 5 days since that announcement, and we are just over 60% there. So it will happen. This is 3 figures for the price of 1. This is from a Transformers series I have no idea about, and a build quality that apparently is not even the best, according to some of you in the chat, like Patrick and Yukon Phil. But the other Haslab Transformers have backed. Those were all the 180-ish range. So you figure for another $60, $70, you get 3 figures. Math would say it's going to back. But ultimately, I think we can all agree this is an absolute waste of a Haslab spot. Haslabs and crowdfunds have to make Haslabs great again. They have to be things that you normally would not get on a shelf. Not because of shelf space, because that was a theory for a long time. It isn't the shelf space thing. It's more of like, this is so intricate and so niche that we cannot afford to mass produce this and get the numbers wrong. Like we gotta make it once, make it right, and get our money back. So I get that. That part I get. But something like this becoming like a new standard, like the Dragonfly I thought was like on the line. Giant Man for sure was over the line. Should Giant Man have been a Haslab? Not really, but we understood it, right? We were like, okay, they need a win, so they're going to do this. But come on, make Haslabs great again. Make Haslabs great again. Colin saying that it will back. Yep. Kenobi said it too. Yep. Like we said before, it just doesn't feel like a Haslab. Exactly. Blind Guy says, you got me considering a cosplay suit. LOL, pack and wand. Well, speaking of that, we got a new Ghostbusters drop this week, which was insane. Out of nowhere, Hasbro announced on, I think it was Friday, the Ghostbusters Plasma Series Neutrona wand from the 1984 movie. This would be the second repaint. It'll be the second Neutrona wand that Hasbro has announced. They dropped one before. They dropped a Afterlife one. We also got the Haslab, but we saw this. We got excited, and the first question we had was, "Is this a repaint? Is this a repaint?" And I didn't want to wait for reviews. I just had to buy it myself. I had to buy it. I bought it. Review is up on the channel, and this is a win. This is a win in a couple different ways. One, I bought it on Friday, and this thing was in my hands on Sunday. The only other time I've seen that from Hasbro was the Master Morpher. If you guys remember, the Master Morpher dropped, and that thing was in our hands right there. Right there. So that's a win for me there. Two, they actually lowered the price for once. They lowered the price from the previous release. It was only like $8, but they still lowered the price, which I've never seen them lower the price on anything. Safe to say. And three, if you somehow did not pick up the other Spengler wand, I think this is a solid pickup. If you do like to do cosplay, this is a solid pickup. Now, I'm spoiling my review. I hope you still watch it, but do I think you need this if you already have the other one and it's just sitting on your shelf? No. Do I think that, a completionist would need to have this version on the shelf for the sake of like their collection? Not really. Not really. But the repaint, lower costs, matches the classic movie versus the other one matching the new movie. It's good. It's good. I like it. I like it. It's more like a bundle thing. Oh, you're talking about the Haslab? Yeah. 3-star reviews. Yeah. The reviews are not good. Man, I kind of thought the wand would sell quick, but they got their money immediately. Yeah. Yeah, the delivery was crazy. Could you imagine all us nerds showing up to the same con all decked out with full packs in A4 style? So I'm saying. That's crazy. Received the wand already. It's sold out. You think they'll restock? I think they will. The Afterlife one restocked really fast. Really, really fast. Let's see what we got here. Joe Kobe's Bunker. Yeah, they're just 3-pack. Oh, talking about the Haslab. They're just 3-pack in a set and hopefully making good box art. Yeah. Yep. Glad the Ghostbusters is getting some love. Yep. Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good pickup. I had this in my review, but I cut it out. The Neutrona wand and the Haslab Proton Pack are two products I feel are underpriced. I'm not asking for them to charge more, but it's rare. I said it with the NECA Steel Clan. I said it with something else I reviewed a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember what it was. But these are things that when I hold it in my hand, I'm like, wow, this thing must have cost like $500, But not the case. Not the case. Just give me 1 second. I just got to send a text real quick. Let's see here. All right. So, last week, don't give them any ideas. I'm sorry. It's true, though. It's true. They being Marvel Legends, they said this before, and yeah, the prices go up now. We can all thank Archer. So Marvel Legends said this, and Super 7 said this. In two different interviews, not at the same time, different years, all that. When you have a wave come out, right? When you have a wave of figures, you're going to have a couple like simple basic figures in that wave. And then you're going to have maybe one or two that are more intricate. Maybe have a little bit extra, maybe or a brand new mold, for example. And what happens is the more basic figure and the more expensive figure have to cost the same amount of money if they're in a wave. If they don't, you take a real risk at that moment. But what happens is if you have both figures, or if you have that one new one come out and a whole bunch of lower tier come out, and you keep the price the same, you do that effect, the cost the cost to you to make the more intricate figure is offset by the amount of extra you make on the basic figure that doesn't cost you that much to make. So they level out. And with Ghostbusters and with those two packs, with the pack and the two wands, I'm thinking the wand is their lower thing. Like, they figured it out. It's just one mold, one set of electronics. Because that pack, that Haslab pack, if you see that thing, knowing it only costs $400 versus what I know what it costs to customize your own, that you're not even building from scratch, but just to customize, that pack probably should have cost like $1,000. Just saying. And anybody who has a Haslab pack would probably tells you it's a $500-$600, maybe even $1,000 thing. It's heavy. It's got weight. It's not cheap plastic. So yeah. Crazy. They just offed Batman like this. Yeah. So this was major last week. One of the jokes in the comic book world and video game world for the last, 2, 3, probably actually longer than that. I'd say longer than that. Warner Brothers has been quite the joke. Yeah, they got me. I've been compromised. If I got this wand for free, you could say I was compromised. I've said that before. The day I'm at a premiere, I've been compromised. Anyway, so Warner Brothers has been a joke for quite a while when it comes to the comic book stuff. We love these characters. We know these characters, and they keep fumbling them. When it came to Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, a game that has been delayed countless times at this point, we were like, what are you even doing with this? In the game, they're fighting aliens from sky portals. It's a mess. It's a mess. Nobody cares. It was one of those things. Nobody cared. The game's getting delayed. We're like, F it. They decide not to give out review copies to the various outlets. So everybody's just dropping previews, and the review for the game would come out pretty much at the same time as the game coming out. Actually, no. The review would probably come out after the game came out, because by the time these companies got their review copies and beat the game, edit, write, record, print, all that stuff, the game's been out already by the time you read and watch the review. So it's a game nobody cared about. And then
we're 2 for 2 on killing your boys so far.
Ah! Love makes it work and pleasure.
You think you're a team now? You're herd animals, depending on someone else to survive.
And then that happened.
Team now? You're herd animals, dependent on.
We all watched this clip. It was circulating the internet. And we're like, wait a minute. That sounds like Kevin. And sure enough, Kevin Conroy's in the game. Up in arms, including myself, knowing that there was more Kevin Conroy out there, and this is the shitty project that we get for his last run. Now, thankfully, DC and Warner Brothers have come out since, and they said, no, there's like 2 more projects out there. 2 more projects where he did voice work for, and we're going to get those. But man, I've never been so mad at a video game company before until this came out. I was like, fuck, this is it. That's all we're going to get. Exactly. It's Kevin. He made a statement about it knowing that was going to happen. Who's he? Kevin? I can't lie. I had hope for this game. I've got none. And going back a topic for a second, because these two converge. The reason I'm so pumped for Ghostbusters is because there's nothing else to be excited for. You know, you're dropping a new DC video game, and I'm like, I don't care. You know, Aquaman 2 came out. I don't care. Like, we got Agatha Harkness, whatever show coming out. I don't care. New Star Wars Mandalorian movie coming out. I don't care. Like, all these franchises have done such terrible jobs in the last couple of years that I'm like, I don't care. So when something comes out that's like halfway decent, like Ghostbusters, and I can have fun with it outside the movie and TV space with like a project to work on or buying a cool prop, yeah, I'm excited. But everything else, all these other franchises, I'm like, kick rocks, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, nothing comes out that's decent. In fact, look at this. I'm gonna say latest. Have any of you watched Justice League Warworld? Legion of Superheroes? Or hell, Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, 2024. This movie came out this year. I don't know a soul that has even acknowledged that they knew this existed. Not one. I tried to watch Warworld the other day, and I turned it off. I had to turn it off. I was like, God damn it, man. Damn it. So that, and this one too, another one. Justice League versus RWBY. Is it Ruby? Yeah. 2023. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. So thankfully we get 2 more projects. I hope they're good. I hope there's stuff that we care about. And I hope they really put their all in the writing. Really do. Really do. All right. Before we go into, actually, no, might as well. Let me reorganize again. We are at the box office recap, my favorite segment of the week. And I don't care. I don't even remember if last week I updated my numbers, because I was like, there is shit out there. Absolute shit. Now, some of you told me Argylle looked good. Check it out. I clicked on it, and I think this was on last week's show. And I was like, oh, is this Kingsman? Because the font, the color, all of it looked like Kingsman. Turned out, no, it was not. But created by the same person. I watched the trailer today to Argylle, and ain't happening. Argylle premiered at 18 million domestic, 17.3 international, worldwide of 35.3. This was your number 1 movie. Now, I thought, because I saw an ad on Apple TV, I was like, oh, maybe this is straight to Apple TV, and that's why the numbers here are so low. No, it's a movie in the theaters. Nobody cares. And what sucks about this, I was watching the trailer and it's star-studded, top to bottom, star-studded. And I was like, there's no way this is a cheap movie. Oh, of course. Damn it. All right, hang on. I got to get back to signing in. Is this it? All right, I'm back. We're back in business. All right. So looking at this year's releases so far, here's Argylle, 35.3. The movie right now is speculated at 200 million budget. But the director said, no way. He's like, I don't know how to make a $200 million movie. So I'm lowballing it at 150. But that movie has so many stars in it, I do not understand how it's not 200 mil. And there's so much CGI from what it looked like in the movie. I don't know how it's 200 mil. But I'm going to go down and say 150. I'm going to be conservative here. 150 and rule of 2. That thing is 265 in the hole. Easy. Stop making these movies straight for theater. It needs to stop. And on top of that, I feel like we're comedied, if that's even a phrase or word, we're comedied out. Like these spy comedies where like explosions are happening and like I'm killing 50 people being like, yeah, so things are good. Like, how's the family? Like it's played out. It's a played out joke at this point. Well, that's number one reason why I'm concerned with Deadpool. I think Deadpool's going to do well because people like Deadpool, but I wonder what the rewatchability is from fans, like the casual fan, because at that point, when you see the movie, you're gonna be like, I've seen this already. I've seen this kind of humor, this action, all that stuff. So we'll see. Henry says it's practically a January release, so that's how you know it's bad. Yeah. That's a spy book movie, right? Yeah. You're just talking about the DC stuff. Archer, you need a new shirt for your channel merch. I don't care. I do. Matthew Vaughn's Argylle, the third Apple original film. That's why I thought it was only on Apple TV Plus. Movie to go wide in cinemas, spied an estimated 35.3 global debut through Sunday, including 17.3 from 78 international box office markets. While that makes it a top title worldwide, overseas and domestically, this frame, the ultra expensive ensemble thriller was harshed by critics and didn't get folks rushing out to theaters. Vaughn's Marv. What is Vaughn's Marv? Is that his production company? Vaughn's Marv. Marv Studios. Okay. All right. They financed Argylle and then they sold it to Apple for 200 mil. Smart on him. Universal came on for the global theatrical release. As Anthony has detailed in his in-depth analysis in the wake of Killer Flowers on the Moon and Napoleon, and though exhibition the world over desperately needs content, there are questions to be asked about Apple sustaining these mega productions that don't produce outsized numbers. Yeah. It's insane. I get the idea and the concept of us still needing movie theaters. But come on. We need tonal change in these movies coming out. For sure. For sure. But all right. I think that just about does it for today's episode. Let me check Instagram real quick. Make sure there's nothing else I missed. And no, that is pretty much, yeah, I say that's pretty much all of our news for today. Make sure, because I didn't plug this earlier, make sure you guys give us a follow over on Instagram, Nerd Affiliated. That's where we're posting all the latest news. We're posting our 28 days of blurred excellence over there. And of course, my favorite, doing weekly updates for the Haslab. So this was 3 days ago. 3 days ago, they hit, what was that, 56%. I thought there was a chance they'd hit 80 by today. But as a reminder, I think we're at 67%. Somewhere in there. 65. So, fell a little short, but it's going to back. Whether it hits all the tiers, debatable. I feel like if I was buying this thing, I definitely want the saber, the blade, the Matrix blade. So I think if I was a backer of this and we got to the final day and it didn't quite back yet, it was like pushing its way there, I'd pull out. Because I'm not trying to get this thing if I'm not getting the Matrix blade. I also feel like you 3D print that. So there's that. There is that. So yeah. Like I said, new Ghostbusters video is live on the channel. The unboxing of this 1984 Spengler wand. So make sure you check that out. Anthony has a toy hunt dropping this week as well. And yeah, that is the show. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. Good morning, all. Yeah. Let me know if you guys are going to go see Argylle. Let me know if that's a thing. Or if you're excited for that other one he has coming out with Alan Richson. And that one's also like a World War II like action spy movie. He being Henry Cavill. So let me know if you're excited for that. Yeah, he's full on Hunt and not Ethan Hunt. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to another exciting episode of Nerdy Coffee. Haircha Live every Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. But as you witnessed, every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish here on Nerd Affiliated, we have Nerdy Coffee. 2 different shows, 2 different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. Videos are dropping, toy hunts are dropping, unboxings are dropping. Will we do a movie review again? I don't know. I'd like to. I feel like Ghostbusters is the next logical one. Otherwise, I got to somehow go see Godzilla -1 still. I've not done that. Hopefully, we hit monetization this week. I could smell it. We are right there. And appreciate all the support. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here.